day or two, especially to get your orders in so we can get it in before Christmas to your relative, friend, colleagues. Be a Christmas Nutrimed Santa. And if you have a QRMA, by the way, at home, and you want to do a QRMA test on your uncle, aunt, your daughter, cousin, by all means do it. It doesn't cost you a cent to actually send it in. I'll give you recommendations for Nutrimeds to restore their health. This is really important. At this end of the month, we're doing another sale. The Thursday, the December 29th, right through to January 3rd, 2017. So you have to understand we're going to be doing another great sale for you. We have, of course, some newer products now. We have our new Testo Cream, herbal testosterone support. We have the new versions of our pregnenolone, DHEA, and progesterone cream. We're bringing on some other new nutraceuticals in the new year that are amazing, and I'm going to be posting up, we just did over the weekend, probably about 20 videos on different products that are posted up on Vimeo and YouTube. They'll be directly linked from our YouTube channel over to all of the products themselves, but you'll find them also all over at Livestream. So if you sign up at Livestream, you'll be able to see the majority of our videos are under Livestream rather than video capture, and you'll get a notification. You can watch it on your iPhone, your iPad, or your computer, or at your leisure anytime. And 98% of all the videos are free. A few are going to be pay-per-view, and that'll be documentaries or the PowerPoints for professionals or advanced wellness condition update videos. So welcome back for Reed. We're having a lot of people that are catching the wave of getting on KARDIOVASC. How's everything going with you with your Christmas? I don't hear. Yeah, how is it going? Because I'm putting together, by the way, a new video that I want people, and it'll be available over the holidays, that explains a lot about vascular disease that you and your doctor and your cardiologist don't understand, but most of it's published in their own journals. And the fact is that when you have disease like, say, diabetes or free radical disorders, like, for example, Down syndrome, where there's an excess third copy of the superoxidase 1 gene, there's 5 genes, actually, that will cause the long CQ21-22 long arm of the 21st chromosome that can cause Downs, which is the best model of aging, not progeria. And it turns out when you get vascular failure, one of the first things you lose is nitric oxide. So you need our KARDIOVASC. You also need Supernox. You need the CoQ10 to maintain metabolism. And you also need the antioxidant enzymes. So we have NutriDefense at SOD. We have cell detox glutathione. But the center post of all of this is KARDIOVASC. You've got to protect your blood vessels from oxidative damage. You've got to get rid of nanobacteria. You got to maintain autonomic balance so that you're not sympathetic overdrive, and you have to maintain the production of nitric oxide and prevent nitroperoxy radical from happening. Things like gamma E+. So let's go each of the components and explain why. If you're trying to stop, and I just got an interesting email from one of our gentlemen who had 15% heart function. He was told to get his affairs in order. We talked about this on Friday with one of our updates. And within 6 weeks of our starting his nutraceutical treatment and alternative care, which he received, including extracorporeal counterpulsation therapy and mild hyperbaric oxygen, he basically recovered to the point where he's so well, he stopped 75% of his medications, and he'd worked 90 days on a big geopolitical thing, because that's what he does. And he recovered because he's taking things like KARDIOVASC. So let's go through each of the components and explain why, if you're taking these nutraceuticals, and again, not just KARDIOVASC alone, but other things as well, but KARDIOVASC is essential to protect your blood vessel wall, to protect nitric oxide synthase, to stop free radical damage, to prevent plaque formation, and to prevent spasm, because a lot of people that have heart attacks and strokes have clean arteries, but they go into spasm. So let's go through some of the components again to review that for people so they understand. This is one of the best gifts you can give to people as a Nutrimedical Santa. Get a 3-pack or a 6-pack. Call us. Give all the addresses, and we'll drop a card in each of the bottles going to different addresses that you want to be a gift to someone so they can start to preserve perfusion, not just lower their blood pressure, and so they can protect their blood vessels so they still work, so they don't go into heart failure or develop what we call hardened arteries due to untreated hypertension that can cause eye loss and kidney loss as those vessels become sclerotic, hard, and non-peristaltic.
Thanks, Dr. Bill. Well, one of the key components is the hawthorn, the leaf and flower extract that's grown in Europe, tested for an active compound called vitexin.
Right, and that's cardiotonic. So, and I mentioned this before, so people get proper terms. You don't have heart failure. You have heart compensation for vessel failure. So when you get hypertension, or eventually the end stage, which is congestive heart failure, it's basically the vessels are no longer peristaltically contracting. They may even be calcified, or they may develop plaque, but they're not producing nitric oxide, and they're not producing a peristaltic wave, which is up to 70% of your blood flow. So you need to have that cardiotonic effect on the mitochondria in your vessel walls and in your heart. And the heart is simply trying to compensate. Eventually, if it doesn't compensate enough, it starts to dilate, and when the valves get incompetent, so there's backflow, then you decompensate and you can have a cardiac arrest. So what people should understand, congestive heart failure is increasing 400% faster than all other heart disease because it's untreated vessel disease, and one of the best and most important things to prevent that is KARDIOVASC. So even if your pressures are, quote, normal on your drugs, it doesn't mean they preserve vascular peristaltic activity. It just means your blood pressure on the cuff looks normal, but doesn't mean you're developing proper blood flow activity in your vessels. And that's a big, serious difference, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and that's where you can do tests like the endopatent endothelix to determine if your perfusion is okay, because you may not have normal perfusion, but you may have normal blood pressure. And if your doctor said, well, your pressure is good, it doesn't mean your perfusion is good or your arteries aren't calcifying or they're getting stiffer and they're not doing their job. Because when they stop doing their job, the heart has to compensate, and eventually you get a dilatory cardiomyopathy. Not good. Next one.
So then we have the aged garlic extract.
Two major effects. We have allicin in our allicin med, but there's other components present in aged garlic that not only have nanobacteria, which is in the allicin, but also have a direct effect on angiotensin-converting enzymes, which are produced through the kidney. So you want to block angiotensin-converting enzymes. You want to block the kidney's perceived lack of perfusion as a reflex surge in angiotensin-converting enzyme activity. And you want to do it in a natural way, so you're not blocking bradykinins and neurotenins. These are other molecules that are blocked by the same drugs you use to block either an ACE inhibitor or ACE receptor blocker. ACE inhibitors block these other drugs, so you can end up with pain syndromes or inflammation. In fact, there was some concern that even ACE receptor blockers up to a couple of years ago might be blocking these enzymes to the point where they can cause chronic pain syndromes or even increase the risk of inflammatory-induced cancer. So far, that's not been proven correct, but the danger is that when you're taking drugs, you're going to get like a Capitan cough by blocking bradykinins and neurotenins. You don't get that when you take KARDIOVASC. You just block the ACE inhibitors through different mechanisms, but you don't end up with these other side effects of blocking enzymatic breakdown of bradykinins and neurotenins. Interesting, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Next component.
So then we have the cayenne.
Cayenne is a vasodilator, helps nitric oxide synthase. And by the way, one of the things that will be launching, and I hope it is finalized today, is we're going to have a small Amazon store for equipment, but we're also private labeling some things that I think are really useful. One of them is a special form of beet juice nitrates, because you need nitrates in order for your body to take your supernox and your KARDIOVASC and maintain the nitric oxide synthase activity, and also prevent the generation of peroxynitrate, which can occur in your joints to make your joints inflamed. So if you hear somebody's, let's say, having a lot of aches and pains in their legs, they're not only having vasospasm and maybe developing plaque like in their pudendal artery, they may actually be nitric oxide deficient, and you have to correct that. So KARDIOVASC is going to help, along with other nutraceuticals, maintaining nitric oxide production. Next component.
Exactly. So then we have the ginkgo biloba.
Ginkgo is, of course, not only a vasodilator in the small circulation of your brain and solid organs, but it also reduces blood viscosity. And most people aren't aware that the single best marker of whether or not you're going to have a heart attack or stroke is your viscosity of your blood. Some will be if you see high levels of fibrin degradation products, or you see rouleau formation on a phase contrast microscopy of red cells, that the cells are clumpy or there's antibodies and they stick together. But the blood viscosity marker, which is called rheologic, RHEOLOGICS, is the best marker to tell you if you're going to have a heart attack or stroke. And our high simple carbohydrate diet increases viscosity and inflammation. Believe it or not, healthy fats like omega fatty acids and healthy fats like C8 fats, like dairy products are not that growth hormone. They actually lower blood viscosity. But our best one now is our Omega Supreme Pro, which we're just launching. That one coming out in the next week or so. And things like Omega Krill, Omega Cod Liver Liquid, and of course the ginkgo biloba and KARDIOVASC is going to reduce blood viscosity, which is why you need to stop it, say 3 to 4 days before major surgery, because cutting the risk of plaque formation and clots and emboli is pretty important. And if you can do that, you reduce the risk of sitting and getting a clot in your leg and then throwing it off to your lungs. And if you're one of 25% of people have a flap valve between your right and left atria, those clots that end up in your right atrium can zip across to your left and shoot up your ascending carotid artery to your brain and give you a stroke. Well, the components will not only prevent heart attack, but also prevent stroke, because they're going to prevent those plaques from happening or embolizing. So ginkgo's a good addition to the program. It also maintains microcirculation, because a lot of time the capillary bed is not fully open, and this helps to keep it open. Next component.
So then we have the milk thistle.
Milk thistle is really important because bisphenol A and other toxic chemicals that your liver conjugates, sulfation, glucuronidation, methylation pathways, etc., is stimulated by milk thistle. And if you conjugate the toxins and get them out and they don't have dysbiotic lower bowel bacteria that deconjugate and re-release into your system, you get rid of one of the most damaging chemicals that damages the endothelial lining of your arteries and your veins. Because if you damage that endothelial lining, you're going to get plaque, inflammation, oxidized cholesterol, oxidized fatty acids, we call T-bars, and you're eventually going to get oxidized DNA, which can increase the risk of cancer. So that's how important this is to maintain and prevent oxidation in the artery wall. Okay, next component.
So we have the bilberry.
Bilberry is the most dialyzable antioxidant. In other words, it goes through solid organs, the blood-brain barrier, the eye, really quickly, and it prevents free radicals from happening. Because ultimately, vascular disease is free radical illness. Just like when people look at blood sugar, they say they think sugar's the devil. No, sugar is a really good patch, just like cholesterol is a good patch for arteries. Sugar is a good capture agent for capturing singlet oxygen. So when you see high hemoglobin A1C, there's two things going on. On the bad side, there's singlet oxygen that's attaching and glycating sugar to attach to proteins and enzymes. On the good side, if the person has a lot of vitamin C in their diet, alpha-lipoic acid, or Nutrimedical, which is long-acting ALA, if they're taking things like our diabetoline that has ALA in it, they're going to, and they have take carnosine D-link, which also delinks the sugar, they're going to have lower levels of glycosylated hemoglobin. Now, glycosylated proteins themselves are inflammatory, but they're just a symptom that there's free radicals in the first place. So if you force someone's hemoglobin A1C down, but you haven't dealt with their free radicals, you have only fixed half the problem. And this is a deception to think it's just your hemoglobin A1C when the background is free radicals. Interesting, hey?
Exactly, yep.
So the KARDIOVASC is going to help to address the free radicals as well, which is why it's so important. And along with our other nutraceuticals like Omega Supreme Krill and with astaxanthin, cell detox glutathione, things to help protect blood vessel wall integrity like ellagic acid, ultrathymine B1 that activates the transketolase enzymes, and Vein-Away, which is a diosmin at the right nanoparticle size to actually repair vessel walls and prevent oxidative stress. So when you start looking at these things, you say, oh, if I have this orchestra, and of course one of the chief things in the orchestra is KARDIOVASC, I'm not going to get plaque or spasm or oxidized fatty acids or upregulate my autonomic nervous system for fight or flight, and I'm not going to have either unstable plaque or spasm, because half the people who have a heart attack don't have plaque. They got a whistle clean arteries. They just get terrible spasms that produces a tonic loss of circulation. And then they have heart muscle damage or brain damage beyond that distal blockage, and there's no need for it. I mean, if we maintain proper levels of minerals like magnesium, etc., magnesium glycinate malate for the brain, magnesium L-threonate with our brain mag, you're far less likely to have a spastic stroke or an embolic stroke. So KARDIOVASC is an important formula. And I think really every adult over 30 should be on it, and any young person under 30 that has any health problem, whether it's Down syndrome or high oxidative stress or some genetic disorder where they've got a high free radical level. Because high free radical levels means you're going to burn out your blood vessel walls. And this is, in the sense, the vessels die first before your heart dies. Your heart is trying to compensate for the vessels that have failed, whether it's hypertension or deep vein thrombosis or vascular blockage. The heart is trying to compensate for the fact your vessels have failed. And KARDIOVASC helps to protect those vessels. So if you go and do an endopat or endothelics test, or even if you do a, we call a NEVA, scan of your arteries and veins, when you go back and check it 6 months later, your doctor says, look, I was going to do a graft on you there, Joe, but I don't need to do it now because your arteries are clear. And we hear these stories all the time. Now, of course, don't take the knockoffs. Extendovite, which he claims that he had this formula for all these years, it's a lie. Heart and Body, Strossard drops, because their knockoff formulas don't have the right components from the right part of the plant validated on every single batch to have the right number of molecules present. You want the original, the real stuff, KARDIOVASC, because you want to protect your blood vessel walls. And you can validate this. You can do a B-scan ultrasound of your neck. You can do a NEVA scan of arterial and venous study of your legs. You can do a rheologic blood viscosity test. You can do a Holter monitor to see if you're having coronary spasm and STT wave changes during, say, a week or even up to a month. When we were doing our studies, we were doing up to, I think, a couple of weeks or even longer. And we found 1/3 of males that have hypertension, have coronary spasm, and we're looking at young males in their 30s. So young males in their 30s, and as you get older, it's even more common, they're having significant STT wave changes, indicating they were having hypoxic cardiac events happen while they're asleep, having sex, or just driving to work. Not necessarily stressed out either, just sitting eating a burger and spasming their arteries. So, I don't know if your doctor kind of mentioned this, but there's lots of pathways to die from vascular disease. The primary ones are reversed using KARDIOVASC. Interesting, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're diabetic, hypertensive, dyslipidemic. A lot of the same factors are present. Elevated free radicals, elevated blood insulin, elevated cortisol levels, elevated, we call it pro-inflammatory fatty acids, elevated cross-linked proteins with glycosylation, elevated peroxynitrate in joints, elevated oxidative stress and decreased pliability of the blood vessel walls. That's why the BioCuff, which if you want to get one, you just contact me. I can obtain it from our supplier. It's a blood pressure machine that you can measure not only your pressure, but how compliant your blood vessels are, because when they start getting stiff, they're not working anymore. If your blood vessels are stiff, they're not doing a contractile wave to move your blood along, and that means your perfusion is dropping. So you can monitor it even before you go do a fancy endothelics or endopat test by just getting a BioCuff, and it'll tell you on a particular day, are your vessels working or not? That's interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Simple BioCuff says, oh, okay, your vessels are working today. That means whatever nutraceuticals you took in your diet are pro-anti-inflammatory, pro-nitric oxide, and pro-perfusion. And that's the reason why, with the aging of the population in our current diet, the rate of heart disease and heart failure is increasing 400% faster than all other forms of heart attack. Heart attack, stroke, deep vein thrombosis, vascular insufficiency, heart failure is increasing 400% faster than anything else. Interesting, eh? And that's why people are mistaken. They think if my blood pressure is okay, surely my perfusion, my circulation are okay. Not necessarily. Interesting, eh?
It is.
We got a short segment. Do you want to stay for that, or do you...
Actually, I'm packing up to go to Kelowna, so if we could just grab a time for next week.
We can do it on the break. We'll do that, and we'll come back and make a couple of announcements. And we'll be joined by Rhett Green from MG12 at the bottom of the hour. And a couple of announcements. The first is that I've got about 20 videos on products that are going to be posted up on the products pages today, so you'll see about 1.5 to 2.5 minutes the explanation of how to use the product, the Nutrimeds, and what products to use along with them. So it's not a full-blown wellness protocol, but it'll give you an idea how we approach things and what combinations are often used to address different health issues and different biological imbalances in the body. So that's going to be very useful. The other announcements, of course, we have some other channels that we're going to be putting up videos through our Deagle network. So you're going to see lots of those videos popping up all over the place, as well as our, we have some other new channels. In fact, I have a one called the, how can I say this? It's called Nutrimedical Reporters over in what's called a beta thing called Minds, M-I-N-D-S. So you'll see lots of new avenues. So, by the way, when you go to the DeagleNetwork.com, whether it's videos or audios, you're able to search by topic. So if you type in something like, say, kidney stones or depression or PTSD or a particular person that you heard on the show, you not only will get all the shows where that was mentioned across index, but you can also go down and pull an audio clip or even a video clip out and mail it to yourself or your friends. So that's all available. It's all free too. So lots of new services we're providing for you to make it much easier. Over the holidays, by the way, I will be responding to people's urgent emails that they have wellness conditions, of course, that they want me to discover. And if they do, send me a QRMA. So all those people that have QRMA machines, in fact, we have so many out there now, it's amazing. Do send me QRMAs on you and your relatives over the holidays, and I will analyze them. And it is free to get an analysis if you have purchased a machine with us. And by the way, all those people out there that want to use a QRMA and start doing a service, it's real simple. All you have to do is provide the service, collect the data, get the persons to purchase a consultation because it requires a consult, usually 2 units for a consult with a QRMA, so I need their attached records as attached to a PDF, or send it through the internet as a Google Drive link. Do not send a zip drive or medical records or x-rays or other things. It just balls everything up because I do not have a medical office. This consulting is providing with nutraceutical technology only. I will provide you information if you can want to know about other things, technology or medications, but it's between you and your doctor. If you decide to use medications or other technology, I will give you links where you can order tests yourself, like directlabs.com, or specialty clinics around the world where different things are available, such as the Centennial Clinic. So what I provide is a consulting service that allows you to become Dr. You. You learn what kind of things are available to help your condition, like our gentleman Ken, who had basically terminal heart failure, and within 6 weeks he was so well, he was basically back out doing a full, ridiculous schedule of work. So that's available. Also over the holidays, we will not be having a show on a Monday after Christmas, but we will have shows on the Friday, this coming Friday, and the Friday after Christmas, right before New Year's. Those will be available. In the new year, you're going to see that sales will be roughly every 6 weeks. So the next sale after that will be around my birthday, which is the 15th of February. I was born midnight Valentine's, but I missed it by 5 minutes in Detroit. So I'm not a Valentine, but I'm a close Valentine. So in terms of the expansion, we're going to be expanding here with an Amazon channel for equipment and some other technologies that we don't carry, such as HydroFloss for your teeth, Sinupulse, and other technologies. And we're also going to make some links to other companies that provide things like CPAP, etc. So I give you specific recommendations. Those will be all linked through our affiliates and also our product sections. In terms of the wellness conditions, we continue I'll be updating a lot of wellness conditions over the holiday, but they are only available to our exclusive customers that have to go through the gate of Michelle. If you're not a regular customer recently, you don't get the password. But it's even better, to be honest with you, to just email me what your current situation is. I will give you an updated protocol free and tell you what to do, and even tell you what conventional investigations or doctors or dentists or other health providers you need in order to get well. So those services are free. They're part of our ministry. Do become a Nutrimed Santa. Get your orders in today. If you get them in today or tomorrow, they're probably going to make it by the end of the week, and you'll be able to stick it in someone's stocking or get it delivered to their home, because it's hard to believe, but this Friday is the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. Be a Nutrimed Santa. Get your order in today. 888-212-88. Nutrimedical Report. We're trying to provide you an overall experience of top-level 7-star converted activated nutraceuticals, both internal to fix any metabolic, genetic, or epigenetic abnormalities and heavy metal toxicities you have by, say, chelation, like our Kelar Max, but also to put the nutrients transdermally through your skin that are going to help reduce muscle spasm, protect against heart attack, stop anxiety attacks, restore the mineral content of trace minerals that ordinarily are not in our food, but the ionic form can be absorbed through the skin. And that product line is the amazing product line of MG12. Brett, tell us all about MG12, and of course we still have all our different specials on for the holidays. And if people get their order in now, they can go to the link on the front page of Nutrimedical.com. They're going to save immediately 5% by just going to the MG12 link. And if you're looking for that particular page, you're going to see it right there on the right-hand panel of our Nutrimedical affiliates. And MG12 is pretty amazing stuff, isn't it? The whole product line is cosmetics, topicals, and you'll see the MG12 Dead Sea Magnesium plus 14 minerals that are not present in the regular oceans or in our food that are essential for different enzymes. Those active site minerals actually govern enzymes that regulate body processes that are extremely important, such as molybdenum and trace elements that you ordinarily don't think are important, like manganese. So magnesium, of course, the most important counter-ion mineral for calcium, is incredibly deficient in our food supply. It's basically only present in citrus, some citrus, green leafy vegetables, and some nuts. Other than that, it really is not present in the diet, and it's been significantly depleted along with all these other minerals. So tell us what about the product line, about the different products that are available now, Brett.
Well, Dr. Deagle, first of all, I want to say that we are having a Christmas sale. In addition to the 5% that you can save through Nutrimedical, if you order from us until midnight on Christmas Eve, you'll get an additional 20% discount.
Wow.
And that's also with free shipping to anywhere in the domestic U.S.
Wow.
So, yes, we just started that as a little Christmas sale for everyone. So I urge everyone to go to the panel on your website and give us a look. We have a wide range of products. It's everything from the standard magnesium oil, which is basically just reconstituted seawater from the Dead Sea, which is very, very high in mineral content, with no additives. Therefore, it's very good for people who may have skin sensitivities or are sensitive to certain scents, odors, and whatnot. It's completely odorless. And then you're getting all the wonderful benefits of the mineral supplementation. We go from there, which I call our plain vanilla, to more of the products with additives, which is going to be the magnesium chloride, trace minerals, and arnica. To that, we add other essential oils and jojoba, coconut, and aloe vera for our balms or creams. We also offer a magnesium soap and a magnesium shampoo, which is a specialty product.
Yeah.
These are very difficult products to find. Usually they're European and much more expensive than ours.
Oh, yeah. And I use the magnesium shampoo all the time, and the magnesium soap, the deodorant. I mean, there's so many cosmetic products that all help to not just make your skin glow, but also those minerals get into your general tissues. Whether you're trying to stop, like with the sport spray around your joints. It includes all the essential oils, the Dead Sea minerals. It includes a whole range of things that turn off inflammation and promote healing and good circulation. And as people start using these, they also stop having muscle spasms, panic attacks, help to get better blood sugar control, and help to boost their metabolism, because minerals are important for hormone support in your body as well.
Also, magnesium chloride is a natural vasodilator. And I know with all of the press that the death of actor Alan Thicke has gotten in the last week because of his sudden heart attack. And I believe, Dr. Deagle, there seems to be an increase in the possibility of having a heart attack in colder weather.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I worked in an emergency department across the northern states. I worked in not only eastern Canada, but also Alberta, British Columbia. I worked in outside Chicago, in Rockford, Illinois. And I can tell you, when it was snowing and you're sitting in the emergency department, you go, oh gosh, this snowing. Somebody's going to go out and try to shovel now. The cold air is going to hit their lungs. Their coronary arteries, even if they're whistle clear, are going to spasm, and they're going to face plant in the snow. We're going to have to haul them in here and cardiovert them if they're still alive and they're not brain dead if they took too long. And this happens all the time. It's a standard thing. And half of the people who have a heart attack don't have plaque or significant plaque in their arteries. They have spasm due to things like low magnesium. If your magnesium is lower than 1.1 milligram per deciliter in your blood, your heart stops. Now, I brought magnesium into the protocol for ACLS along with other scientists like Dr. Eisenberg in Seattle back when I was a resident in family internal medicine back in '78 at the Calgary General Hospital. And I saw a lot of people having weird arrhythmias that they weren't coming back, and I get ticked off, so I went to the library. Being a bit insomniac, I read research that the dog lab at the Texas A&M was doing work on heart ligation, and they actually were looking at the heart muscle, what happened after they ligated the arteries, and it was magnesium deficiency. So magnesium is a really important mineral, along with all the other trace minerals. And if you have magnesium deficiency, you're in even a local area of your heart, your arteries are going to go into spasm, unopposed calcium activity, and you're going to have a big heart attack or a stroke. And that's what I tell people, whether you're taking our oral magnesium glycinate malate, you take magnesium potassium citrate, or you're taking our brain one that crosses the blood-brain barrier, magnesium L-threonate, which is part of Brain Mag. It's extremely important, but I also recommend people take the transdermal. It's a big job to get your magnesium up to where it should be and your other trace minerals and to maintain them. That's why this is so important. Every morning I get a bath with the magnesium oil in the bath and soak in it because I know transdermally I'm going to get some trace minerals that otherwise my body's not going to get in my food. And it's really important to understand that we're constantly in a deficient state, and epigenetically we're literally silencing genes because the minerals aren't present to turn the gene on. That's a big deal, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We've actually added some instructions to our protocols here as far as instructions on how to use our topical products, and one of those is to massage the oil along with the balm into your chest area. It's good to use, like, for example, our deodorant is based on magnesium chloride based along with the other trace minerals. So it's also very good for your lymph system also. But for the heart arrhythmia, we've had a lot of people tell us that they no longer suffer from arrhythmia when they use our products and simply use it on a regular basis and apply it over the heart area.
Right. In other words, they do it over the dermatomes of the heart and chest. Just like we also tell people to take their DHEA, pregnenolone, over the chest as well, and upper abdomen over the chest. The trace minerals, when they go transdermally, what's neat is they get transported immediately throughout the body. These minerals, by the way, are extremely useful if you're trying to kind of regenerate the soil. I often tell people a diluted solution in your watering can help the plants start to regenerate tremendously. And you don't even need to add, probiotic bacteria and other things, which we had before, with some of our other products. You just need the minerals. A small amount, in a gallon jug with a sprayer on your rose bushes or your veggies or I have fruit and nut trees. It's amazing. I mean, where we are in Southern California, it's colder than it's ever been. I mean, last night it was 12 degrees above freezing. 44 degrees. We almost never see weather below the 50s. So you can grow anything here. Strawberries in the wintertime, do anything, because it's almost always sunny. So if you have water and you got minerals like Dead Sea minerals, you can grow virtually anything. So it's another prepper thing I tell people to have, is to have these oils as well, because they're filtered and they're toxin-free. The cosmetic range, let's go through those kits again. I can't believe that you gave that kind of special. 20% off plus our 5% they get for just going through Nutrimedical. That's really amazing.
Well, we only do it. Yeah, we don't do this very often, actually. So it is very unusual. But it's Christmas, so we wanted to help, especially our loyal clients to be able to take advantage maybe and try some products maybe they wouldn't normally try.
Right. But, by the way,
we do have some wonderful...
This is the anti-stress, I would call all these packages, because your body is stressed, whether it's your appearance or your internal organs or your heart. And more disease pops up now, more breakups in marriages happen now, more financial catastrophes happen now, more onset of cancer or diabetes or peripheral neuropathy happens now. And topical minerals are important not just to make you look better, but to make you better inside too.
That's right. I think you said last week that health is beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's basically what a lot of our products that are more geared towards the cosmetics does for someone. It actually gives their skin good cellular health, and there's nothing more beautiful than a very healthy skin. We have something called a beautifying bundle, and it contains an 8-ounce body balm. Now, our body balm is wonderful. It's a very rich cream. It has, of course, the magnesium chloride along with the trace minerals. In addition, it has arnica, which is very good for wound healing and inflammation. And also, it has jojoba coconut aloe vera along with organic beeswax that gives it that really creamy texture. It gives your skin a nice sheen also. And in addition to those elements, we also have the essential oil of lavender. And lavender is the largest selling essential oil in the world because of all of the medicinal traits that it has, and it's awesome for your skin.
And calms your nervous
system. So we
system.
have the body balm.
Yeah.
And we also have a soap. Our soap contains, of course, the magnesium chloride trace elements, along with rice bran oil, coconut oil, palm oil, cocoa butter. It also contains the Dead Sea clay, which in itself is high in minerals, along with patchouli oil and carrot seed oil. It's a very rich soap, very creamy.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. It really is amazing.
Most of our folks, you can use it for all over body. It's excellent for that, but a lot of our clients use it as a beauty bar. In addition to that, we also are offering our Nourishing Shampoo, which contains the magnesium chloride, trace minerals, along with sunflower seed oil, castor oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, lavender essential oil, and rosemary essential oils. This is all very helpful for the hair follicle. And actually, it's been known to help with alopecia, which is hair thinning or hair loss. So it's good for all types of hair. I use it, and I have very thick, coarse, curly hair. But I know a lot of people who have very thin hair that find it very helpful. And it's especially good for those people that have any sort of scalp issues. It will heal plaque psoriasis in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, which is an inflammatory process with interleukin 27 at the prickle cell layer. And so it literally will turn off inflammation or eczematous dermatitis or psoriatic or contact allergic dermatitis. And because there's these calming minerals there, it also calms down photoactivated inflammation of your skin. Because a lot of people don't realize there's certain drugs like even hydrochlorothiazide, the diuretic, if you take it, or drugs like moxifloxacin or Levaquin, they're going to burn you if you go out in the sunlight. They're photoactivated toxins, and you need things to actually neutralize that or to reduce the danger, even in moderate ultraviolet light. And that way to do it is use the MG12 product. So if you're taking drugs, believe it or not, they're photoactivated, MG12 is the way to stop it from getting you. Interesting, eh?
Yes, it is. That really is interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't aware that a lot of drugs are photoactivated and dangerous. They'll give you a warning when the pharmacist gives you the drug, but most people chuck it in the garbage and don't read it. they don't realize that this could be pretty nasty. If you have Levaquin or moxifloxacin, for example, you don't just get a photoactivation. You can get weakening enough of the tenocytes in your tendon sheath of your Achilles, you can actually rupture it. Or you can have your lens in your eye actually lodge loose from being bumped in the head, and little suspensory fibers can break. People don't know that, do they?
No.
No, they're not aware.
That's very frightening, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's a DNA gyrase 4 inhibitor, but it's photoactivated as a toxin. And some of these drugs are actually turned into cancer-inducing agents. And the topical things in your skin actually protect your skin not only from sunlight, but photoactivation. Now, yes, the average doctor, or even dermatologist, do they know that? They don't understand toxicology or environmental medicine or photoactivated toxins. It's on the drug list because they've had to report it. It's in their legal things because they've actually accumulated information that, yeah, this stuff does it. But people aren't aware. So it only makes you look better. It makes you look better from the inside out, so you're not only beautiful, but you're beautifully healthy. How's that?
That's great. I wanted to talk a little bit about probably one of our largest bundles. It's called the Rejuvenation Bundle, and it contains a 2.2-pound bath salt. Now, these are Dead Sea salts.
Right.
And I think just about all of your listeners are going to be familiar with the Dead Sea and all of the wonderful benefits of the waters there.
I think it's funny.
Not only that, of course, it's part of the Holy Land.
It's interesting that the minerals of the Dead Sea are the most essential for life, so they should really call it the living sea. How's that? Because
you're right, absolutely.
You go down to the 7-star Hyatt Regency Hotel there, which I've been to in Engedi. It's amazing. Floating there with you can read a newspaper in the water, believe it or not, sitting there floating in your bathing suit. And when you put the mud on your body, you feel like your body's saying, how long have you been away from here? You can't believe it. But you get these products from MG12. Stay right there. Brett will be back in just a moment. More about the Christmas specials. Order today. Get those specials. 20% off plus 5 specials again. 20% off for Christmas up to midnight on Christmas Eve. 5% for just going through our link on Nutrimedical, so we get credit. We have audience listening all over the world, and you ship everywhere too. I think people should start to realize that, let's rename it. It's not just the Dead Sea because it's so high in minerals it can't support certain kinds of life, but the minerals present in the Dead Sea and the Dead Sea minerals and their mud and so on are amazing. I mean, the number of people that go to the Engedi facility there at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, if you've ever been there, it's just remarkable. If you've got a cardiac problem or hypertension or skin disorder or chronic arthritic condition and so on, it's amazing how these Dead Sea muds and minerals will help heal it, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the marvelous thing about it is, for those of us that can't get over to Israel as much as we would love to, you can actually bring it to your home. And
right.
Through our Dead Sea bath salts and our oils that are made of the components we get directly from the Dead Sea imported to us, and create all of our products here from it. So you can bring a little bit of the Dead Sea to yourself. And this Christmas season, we're trying to make that a little bit easier by offering a 20% off discount, and then along with your very generous 5% too. And coming through your Nutrimedical site, we can share the Dead Sea with people all over the world.
Yeah, and I think if I was to say, what's the major thing that we're trying to heal here? We're trying to take away stress. Stress in your skin, stress in your internal body, stress with enzyme deficiency that requires minerals to literally turn on the genes, the stress of imbalance. And the first step in anti-aging or wellness is to correct your mineral deficiencies. If you do that, everything else is starting to get sorted out. Antioxidant enzyme pathways, healing, generation of biomolecules, and so on starts to occur if the right minerals are present. They aren't by and large. We do a QRMA test or a packed red cell test for minerals. Then if you start looking for vitamins that are activated, a lot of time people can't even activate them properly, which is why all our NutriMeds are activated compared to basically anybody else's vitamins and nutraceuticals. The topical MG12 products really complement the oral ones we give. So when we give people Minerals Plus and Vitamin Mineral Max, or we have other trace minerals like our selenium cruciferate or chromium cruciferate, organic chromium, you're going to get some of these trace minerals transdermally through your skin that you don't know you need, but your body needs a very tiny amount of it. And when you do it transdermally, it sneaks past other ways where it may not get into your body, and you get a tiny amount of these trace minerals as well as the big ones like magnesium. Your total body magnesium, to maintain it, you need both oral and topical, I think. You need both in order for it to maintain proper body levels. I would say probably 95% of our population are moderately to severely deficient in magnesium. Not only looking at all the minerals, that's a really serious situation. You're prone to seizures, spasm, anxiety, depression, and just stress. So MG12, look it up on the front page of Nutrimedical. Go to the link. Save 20% through the holidays, right through Christmas Eve, and 5% year-round by going to Nutrimedical.com, our front page link. Thank you, Rhett. That was a very excellent review of these amazing packages. We're coming back in a moment with Ryan Frace. And, of course, this week we will have a full program, including Leo Zagami on Thursday, and Harley Schlanger will be back for Wednesday. He had a family emergency, didn't make it last week. But, we're there for them when they have a crisis like this. We're there for you as well. Just contact us and we'll help you through the holidays.